Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Julia Rack. On today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can achieve this underbust Victoria corset, okay? On the screen are my measurement and tools I needed, okay? So, let's get started. On the table, I have my brown paper, I have my tape rule, my marker pen, I have my pattern master, I have my armhole curve, and then my paper scissors. All right, so I will advise, if you're doing this for yourself, I will advise you to use pen or pencil, because using this marker pen is going to increase some inch to your measurement. So the first thing I'm going to start is to create my starting point, which I'm going to use for my shoulder line eventually. Okay, so the next thing, I need to create my starting point for my center front or center back, whichever. So this is like a traditional things we all dressmaking we do. You cannot arrive in any dress when you are going to make without creating your starting point, okay? So yeah, and the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to impute my shoulder measurement, which is 14 divided by 2. I have 7 inches. All right, so I will advise you to take your own measurement. If you are going to do yours, take your measurement to be sure. Don't use my measurement, but if you're my size, you can use my measurement. So the next thing, I'm going to take my bust height from my shoulder to where my nipple stop is 10 inches. Okay, do the same thing. Take your measurement from the tip of your neck to where your bust point, your nipple is, and then mark it there. Okay, that is your bust height. So the next thing, I'm going to impute my underbust measurement, which is from my shoulder to my underbust, where your bra line stop. Okay, where your bra line stop, that is your underbust. Take your measurement from there, and then that is it. Mine is 13 inches. So right now, I'm going to connect those dots to create my bust line and also my underbust line. Please pardon me, because when I was filming, I didn't know that I have shifted the pattern too much that it covered half of the paper and you cannot see what I'm doing on the other part. Okay, my apology for that, but it's going to be okay at the moment when I'm working. All right, there's nothing serious going on there. It's just to label it and that. So the major part is the center front there, which everything is there. You understand what I'm, every process is there. So okay, so don't panic. Okay, all is okay from the front here. Okay, so the next thing I'm taking is my waist. From my shoulder to my waist, that is my half length. Okay, it's 16 inches, while 19 inches is for my corset length. You can just decide to do more of the length. You can add or you can reduce, but I will advise 19 inches is okay. It's a normal size, but if you want it more longer, then you can do more than 19. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing now, I'm going to connect those dots to create my waistline and also my corset length. Okay, so I hope you're picking up. If anything you find it confusing, you don't understand it, please feel free to leave your comment down below. I will be grateful to reply you, to give you the necessary answer you need. Okay, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Turn on your post notification to get notified when I'm going to post the sewing tutorial. Okay, so with that being said, let's move on. So I'm going to impute my neck width. I use 3 inches. We are not using the upper part, but because of the tutorial sake, I'm going to do a little of a busy body pattern here. Okay, so from my shoulder, I went down 1 inch to create my shoulder slope. As usual, So from that 1 inches I went down, so I'm going to connect from my neck width to meet with that 1 inch. That is my shoulder slope. All right, so the next thing I need to do, I'm taking down my neck depth, which is 3 inches. That is the standard measurement, 3 by 3 inches. Okay, so I'm double checking the measurement so I can get accurate measurements, so I will be able to create a little square box. Okay, so the next thing now, I'm going to connect those 2 dots to create my neck shape. So I'm going to use my free hand here. I'm practicing how to use free hand. Okay, so yeah, if you have your armhole curve or your curve rule, you can use it to create your curve within a few seconds. It won't take you time, but if you want to use your free hand like me, do the same thing. Okay, so we are done. The next thing, I need to create my armhole. To do that, I divide my bust circumference divided by 6. I got 5.1 plus 1.5 inches. I got 7.1. So I approximate the number to 5.25. Okay, sorry, 7.25. So from my shoulder, I took the measurement from my shoulder to where the 7.25 is. So the total is 8.25. But I'm going to connect from that end point. So okay, just watch what I'm doing. Okay, so just watch carefully and see what I'm doing. The process is still the same thing on the screen as I'm explaining. Okay, so I'm leveling my chest line. So yeah, so we are done from the vertical measurement. So the next thing the next step is to impute our horizontal measurement. I'm going to impute my horizontal measurement. The first thing first, I'm going to take in my nipple to nipple point measurement. That is the bust pant. Okay, mine is 7 inches, so divided by 2 I got 3.5. So I'm imputing that 3.5 right there to create my dart. Okay, so I'm going to connect those dots to create my dart length. Please, if you find this tutorial confusing, please leave your comment down below. Let me know where the confusion is. I will be glad to correct it for you. Okay, so for this tutorial, for this pattern we are making, I'm going to minus 1 inch from my waist, because I want if you want your waist to be more snatched, minus 1 inch from your waist. Okay, so first I need to impute my dart. We're going to take 1 inch on the both side of the dart. Okay, remember we are creating a corset. Okay, we are creating a corset, underbust corset. It's not like a normal other cloth. Okay, so take one inch on the both side. So on the damp part, I'm taking 0.5 inch on the both side, which is 1 inch in total. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to connect this mark, draw a straight line from the underbust to the waistline like so. I'm going to do that on the other side. So the next thing I'm going to do, from that underbust, I'm going to use my armhole curve to create that curve from that underbust to meet with my bust line. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So the next thing I need to impute, take 1 inch also from the upper for my chest line. Now if you are going to do with the make yours to the upper part, then you need this measurement. Okay, But if you are not doing anything with it, then you can skip this process here. But because I want you guys to see all the whole of the process, then you make the decision by yourself which one you want to go with. So at this part, there are so many different corset that is going to give you if you follow up this step. So you will see which one you want. Either you do with the one we are going on, or you can choose to go with other part that you want. Everything depends on you right now, okay? So if you want it, you can do the same thing. But if you don't want, just skip this part. But it's okay for you to still follow up so you know exactly how you can create your corset, either underbust corset or they have a whatever. If you want to use it as a top, okay? If you want to use it as a top, you can also can follow the same process. You create your corset, okay? So I'm connecting this line to create my complete dart. So like I said before, that if you're doing it for yourself, use your pencil or pen, because this marker is adding some inch to my measurement, which I don't like. So right here, I'm trying to correct it. So that is what I'm doing. So the next thing we're going to do, so the horizontal measurement is on the screen. And if you didn't get that measurement correct, please play back for you to know what happened, what I wrote there, okay? So now it's time to impute my bust circumference is 34 divided by 4 is 8.5 plus that 2 inches that I took. I'm going to replace it back for the dart. So I'm going to add another extra 1.5 inches for extra dart by the side. Remember, we are doing a corset, okay? We're making a Victoria corset here. So you can add more dart if you want. By doing that, you're going to add extra inches to all your measurement, okay? So the next thing, I'm going to repeat that same measurement, 8.5 plus 2 inch dart intake that we took for the bust snatch, and then 1.5 inches for extra dart. Okay, this is the interested part, okay? Please pay close attention to this, all right? So my underbust is 29 divided by 4 is 7.25 plus 2 inches dart intake. I'm going to add it back there, all right? So plus additional 1.5 inches for extra dart. So I'm going to put it right there on the screen. So which is total of 10.75. Okay. So down to my move on to my waist. I subtract 1 inches from the 28 inches, which is 27. 27 divided by 4, I got 6.75. Okay. So plus extra 2 inches the dart intake that I took, plus additional 1.5 inches. Okay. I hope I'm making sense. Okay. So everything total came up on 10.25. So that 10.25, I'm going to impute it on my corset length like so. I hope you're following up. I hope my explanation is clear for you. Okay. So the next thing, I need to connect this line to create my pattern. Okay. So now from that underbust, I'm going to divide that underbust from this side to the part where my dart leg stop. Okay, the inner dart leg. I don't know if you understand me. Okay, from that point. So I divide it into 2 to find the midpoint. So I'm marking the midpoint of that particular part now to create the extra dart. Okay. So since this line is not straight, what you are going to do, if you have your pattern master, you can place it like that on that line of the corset length. Okay. Straight to create your dart length. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, remember the 1.5 we took, I'm going to take 1 inch from that 1.5 inches, okay? So by doing that, I'm going to impute 0.5 inch on a both side from my waist and on my underbust, like so. Okay, just follow the process. Just watch carefully and see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I need to connect that two line, those dots, to create a diamond shape, which is like create the dots. Okay, so the next thing, trying to label the pattern. So we have 3 patterns to cut out. Okay, but like I said, we don't need the upper side. I don't need the upper side. I don't know about you for now. So remember the 0.5 that remaining from that 1.5 that we took. Okay, so I'm going to put that 0.5 on my waistline. Sorry, the 0.5. Yeah, the 0.5 I added to my waistline. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to connect it from that point now to create the dot at the front. Okay, so we are almost done. Okay, so remember the arc on the underbust that extend almost to the bust line. Yeah, so I'm going to come up by 1.5 inches. Now this is your preference. If you want, you can go up by 2 inches, or you can do with 1.5. But for me, since I'm on a small size, I'm going to do with 1.5 inches. Okay, so 1.5 inches I will do. But if you're on a bigger size, I will advise you to go up by 2 inches or more. It depends on your body size. So before I'm going to connect that dot that I did, I'm going to create my curve from place your armhole curve or your pattern master from the midpoint of your dart, and connect it from that point to meet with where you mark 1.5. Okay, or you mark 2 inches where you mark yours. Mine, I connected to meet with where I mark 1.5 inches. Okay, so I went in by 0.75. So that is where I'm extending the line out, so I can create that shape that I want. So right now, it's going to depend on you what you want at this junction. If you want, you can do the underbust corset that it has this grip by the side. I don't know how to call it. Okay, when I connect this, you will understand what I mean. You can do with this one, or you can cut that part out and then focus on the particular one I'm going to do today. So you see, but what I need is only that from this point to the underbust. That is where I need. So I'm going to make the line visible for you to see. So that place that I'm marking is where I'm going to cut out. Okay, but if you want, at this point, you can leave yours like this and go do with this. But I don't want it. So by that side, to create my bat shape, I went up by 1.5. 1.5 is the best way, but if you want yours to be more deep, you can go up by 2 inches, but I will advise 1.5 is the best catch on this one. So 1.5 is okay. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use my pattern master. I took 0.5 from there to extend the bat out because I want it a little bit more pronounced, like to show more the bat. Okay, so I went down by 0.5 there, and then I connect that 0.5 to meet with my 1.5 inches. I hope I'm clear. I hope my explanation is clear for you. Okay, 0.5 inches, 0.5 inch, and then 1.5 inch by the side. Okay, so the next thing is to cut out. So before we cut out, I want to say something here. Okay, it's advisable for you to add your joining allowance from the bottom part. If you cannot add it for other part, but add it on the your bottom part, because if you don't do that, if you want to cut it on the fabric, it's not going to arrive together. when you are going to join your pieces together. So I have done that, and I have seen the inset. Like you see, I'm adding 0.5 inch for the bottom part. Okay. Also for the side, these two places is where you should follow. You should add your 0.5 inch sewing allowance from the pattern before you cut it out to your fabric. So I decided to do that on the other fabric, on the other part of the pattern, but I realized that it may be confusing to other people. So at the end of the day, I trimmed the part that I added from the side, but the bottom part, I left that bottom part and the side. Okay, also do the same thing. Don't forget to add your 0.5 on the bottom part, like so. So the one I added, I have cut it out. Okay, I trim it out from this part so you will not get confused. Okay, but the bottom part is still going to remain. This is the only part that I don't want. I can add this part to my fabric when I'm cutting. So F is mean front. Okay, so this is the pattern measurement you're going to use for the back pattern. There's nothing serious there. Okay, so I'm going to be fast about it on this back because there's nothing serious to do here. It's still the same process. The only alteration that is going to happen when I get to that point, I will slow down for that part. But for here, I'm going to be fast. It's still the same thing on how you do your busybody pattern. So what I did here, the measurement you need at the back, you need your shoulder to your chest line to your underbust. This time around, we don't need your bust measurement, okay? Just shoulder to your chest line to underbust to waistline, the waistline to your corset length, okay? That is what I'm doing. So I'm extending this line out so I can level all my lines to know where I'm going to start from. So the next thing, I'm going to repeat my shoulder measurement here. Okay, I'm going to impute my shoulder measurement right there, 7 inches. Okay, so that I can get accurate line to create my armhole. So the next thing is to impute my bust span measurement like I did at the front. So that is why I'm fast here. So I have create my bust span, create my darts. So the next thing I'm going to do is to impute my bust circumference. My bust circumference is 34 divided by 4 is 8.5 plus additional 1.5 for extra darts. The same thing we did at the front, but we are not taking that excess dart that we did at the front. It's only on the back that we're going to do that. It's only on the front. So on the back, you add your bust circumference and the 1.5 inches for the extra dart intake. Okay, so that is what I'm doing here. So my underbust there is 7. So what I'm doing right here, the 1.5 that we are going to add at the dart intake. So I'm taking 1 inches already. So that 1 inches that I'm taking, I'm going to add 0.5 on the both side, both my waistline and for my underbust line. Okay, so I'm creating this dart out now so I can do all the move on to another thing. So now I'm going to impute my underbust circumference, which is 7.25 plus 1.5 inches that extra dart intake. Okay, just like that. And then you move on to your waistline, 6.75 right there, plus the extra 1.5 inches. So the total number there is 9.75. So I'm going to add it back there. So now I'm going to connect this line out now to create my back basic pattern. Okay, I don't know if I'm calling it correct. So the 0.5 that remained from that 1.5, we already took 1 inch for the 1 inch for the middle part. So now I'm going to add that 0.5 at the front waist, at the back center back line, yeah, at the waistline. Okay, so I'm going to connect from that 0.5 outward, like so, like what I did at the front. Okay, please watch carefully. If you don't understand, please leave your comment down below. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, turn on your post notification. Okay, so because this part is too sharpy, so I'm trying to create the trying to make it more smooth. So you should do that to your okay. So at my back, I will need to repeat the same thing because I want that same bar to show at the back. So I'm also I went down by 0.5. I also went up by 1.5 there to create the line, connect my line out. So I'm adding 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Okay, that is what I'm doing. I add 1 inch, take 1 inch from my zipper allowance, and then like you see me doing, labeling zip allowance. So I'm going to cut it out. So basically we are done from the pattern making. So like you see, I added 0.5 inch for my joining allowance, also for the back pattern. So you should do the same thing. Okay, so now these are my front pattern and my back pattern. So here is my fabric that I'm going to use for this tutorial. Okay, so on the table are my scissors, my fabric scissors, and my pattern. So I'm going to cut this. I will cut each pieces is going to be 4 because I will still use the same material to create my lining. So for each pieces you're going to cut 4. Okay, so I already cut fold the pattern into 4 pieces. So forgive me, I forgot to open it to show you that it's 4 before I started cutting. So but when I'm done, you're going to see that on each of the pieces I have cut it 4 to get my lining out of it. If you don't want to use the same fabric to create your lining at this point, once you have done cutting it out from your main fabric, then you get your lining and then you cut it from there. Okay, use the main pieces and cut it on the lining. Like you see me doing, I'm adding my sewing allowance, which is 0.5 on all sides, but I'm not adding to the bottom part because it has already been there. I already added when I was cutting on my pattern, like I said earlier. So my patterns are ready. So yeah, we are coming to the end of this tutorial. Please thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notification to get notified when the sewing tutorial will be on. Okay, and don't forget to share this video with your sewing mate. All right, thank you so much once again. I will see you on my sewing tutorial. All right, have a good day, have a blessed, wonderful day, and yeah, bye.